Scott Sheldon, and welcome to this episode of Winegazer. Thank you so much for tuning in. So for this episode, you can see, got a little different environment kicking. That's right, we got the couch, laid back. Gonna do a little homage, say thank you to a few peeps, and so a very special episode. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but let's talk about the wine that we're going to feature today. So today we're going to talk about Beaujolais, and if you're not familiar with Beaujolais, you are in for a real treat today. Beaujolais, some of you may be familiar with the Beaujolais Nouveau, which is this wine that comes out every November. It's like rushed out. I mean, from the time they pick the grapes to fermentation to bottling to the marketplace, you're talking 3 to 4 weeks. And it's just a light, fruity wine. I mean, it's almost like a raspberry cranberry juice spiked with some alcohol. No complexity, nothing to really talk about, but it's extremely fun, easy drinking, great with light bistro fare, picnic style foods. But just a simple beverage, right? So some of you may have heard about that, and you can step up to the normal Beaujolais wines, which are, aged a little bit more in the winery, still very simplistic wines. And then you can get into the Beaujolais Village, or villages. 96 different villages within Beaujolais, 10 of which are known as the Cru villages. The creme de la creme. There's 10 different village or villages that we're going to focus on one of them today. So when we talk about Beaujolais, it's technically located within Burgundy, but aside from the proximity, the two regions, the two areas, they couldn't be any more different. I mean, different climate, totally different grapes. In Burgundy, we're growing red wine, we're doing Pinot Noir grape. Down in Beaujolais, south from there, close to the Rhone Alps, it is Gamay is the grape. Also, winemaking style, totally different. With Beaujolais, they use something called carbonic maceration, meaning that instead of crushing the grapes and then putting them in a vat to ferment, they put whole clusters of the grapes in, maybe a small percentage, 20% at the bottom of the vat, do get crushed just from the pressure coming down from the grapes above. But what happens is the carbonic maceration, natural yeast actually seep into the skins of the grapes, and the fermentation happens inside each individual grape. And it actually really enhances this inherent fruitiness of the Gamay grape. And another difference between the two regions is just the whole attitude. I mean, Burgundy, very stuffy, serious. Beaujolais is like party town, having fun, not so serious whatsoever. So big differences, and to my mind, Beaujolais is really a hidden gem within the wine world. Some of the best quality to price ratio bargain wines that you can find if you really hunt them out, seek them out. So the wine we have today, 2009, let me bring this up so you can see it. 2009 Beaujolais from Potel Aveyron, and 2009 is a iconic vintage for Beaujolais. And it's interesting when you're looking at the label and you're talking about the 10 Cru villages of Beaujolais. There's nowhere on this label it actually says Cru Beaujolais. It does say Beaujolais red wine. Some of those wines won't even have this indicator on it. So basically the strategy is you need to start memorizing some of the Cru villages in Beaujolais. And there's basically 4 that I recommend you start with. Let's give this a pour. So in terms of finding these wines, and by the way, I apologize, I forgot to point out, this is the village this comes from is a Fleury, 2009. And when you start talking about the 10 villages, the ones that are the easiest to find are generally Morgon, Moulin-à-Vent, Fleury, and Brouilly. And Morgon and Moulin-à-Vent are known for being more complex, a little more tannic, a little heavier. And then Fleury and Brouilly are more floral, lighter characteristics that you will find. But overall, Beaujolais is a very low tannic wine, high acidity, very fruity. And so when we start talking about homage and saying thanks, the reason I bring this up, the reason why I'm kicking back on the couch and drinking Beaujolais, is a very special person who wrote this book, Gary Vaynerchuk, Crush It, one of the greatest books of all time. Without this book, I wouldn't be sitting here doing the show, talking to you, drinking Beaujolais. He really inspired me to follow my passion, to do something with my love of wine, to share with other people. And also through his shows, Wine Library TV and Daily Grape, he really opened my eyes to Cru Beaujolais, the real, gems, hidden gems in the wine world that, yeah, maybe I would have found out about them sooner or later, I'm sure, but thanks to him, it's something that I learned about earlier and really enjoyed. So many incredible wines, and I'm really, really thankful to him for that. And for his influence on me creating these wine blogs to try to help other people learn more about wine. So with that being said, let's get the big ass glass, as Gary would say. Let's get some air into here. Give you a little, see if you can see the color. Pretty light, ruby color. You can definitely see my fingers, my lifeline through there. Not too dense or dark. Get some more air in here, and as Gary would say, give it a sniffy sniff. So very earthy, a lot of fresh topsoil coming through on the nose. Black cherries, black raspberries as well. A little bit of leather, yeah, a little bit of astringency coming through. And with these Beaujolais wines, one of the things I want to talk about for a minute, that's why they're so appealing, is there's really a kind of a quiet revolution that's going on with a lot of the winemakers going back to old techniques. And what I mean by old techniques, they're not filtering the wine, they're not fining it, they're adding a little or no sulfur to it to try to stabilize it. They're using, mature vines. They're not using chaptalization, meaning they're not adding sugar to increase alcohol levels. So this is really, when you think about that part of it, when they're turning away from some of the modern techniques that help ensure the stability of their product and the quality of the product they're putting out. I mean, these wines are a phenomenal steal. And that's why I urge you, and I felt compelled to do this episode, so that you can learn about these wines from the 10 Village of Beaujolais. Let's give it another smell, another sniffy sniff, as Gary would say. There's also a salty, meaty component to it, kind of a salty jerkiness. Very intriguing nose. This wine, by the way, $18. Cru Beaujolais, $18. That's right. So this is what I'm talking about. Bargain, hidden gem. You're getting these complexities. You're in the center of Burgundy. Well, not the center, but southern Burgundy, one of the greatest, winemaking regions of the world. And you're picking up wines, the best wines of that area. A lot of them are under $20. So phenomenal. Another smell. Real great pepper, black pepper, fresh crushed black pepper component to this wine as well on the nose. Let's give it a whirl. So on the palate, there is this real saltiness, and there's some fruit, and what it reminds me of are these like dried salted plum candies. I don't know if you ever had these things. They're kind of weird, but it's like a real salted, like dried plum, and then you get that again black raspberry, black cherry fruits coming through. Let's give it another taste. The acidity on these wines, it's one of the reasons I would say this is probably, in my opinion, the most versatile red wine for food there is. I mean, this is basically, I don't remember who said it, but somebody said that Beaujolais is a white wine that just happens to be red. And what that means is its food friendliness, its ability to match up with so many different things. It's just incredible. Really what I like with Beaujolais, when I start pairing it up with food, I love charcuterie, getting the salami and prosciutto and some Serrano ham, steak frite, like a really nice charred steak with some crispy French fries, roasted chicken, grilled sausages. These are the things, a burger. Simple, hearty foods is what I would recommend, and you could even go, start getting into some fish with this wine as well. Really a tremendous, tremendous food wine. And I'd like to give this another taste in a second, but I also want to, say thanks again, to Gary and all the amazing videos that he's done free. It appalls me sometimes, some of the people online making wine videos and charging, big membership fees to access their site. Really? Come on. I mean, when you look at someone like Gary, the value he's brought, over 1,000 free videos to the wine world, educating so many people. It's just tremendous. And I can't thank you enough. And so many great episodes, like tasting wine in the snow, like, how does cold temperatures affect your palate, and what wines pair with cereals, and going out to the market and finding all the different fruits and different things that represent the flavors of wine, and tasting them. And just really eye-opening, fun things, the way he would educate us about wine. And I really miss him. I hope you return, Gary, but still, I just want to say thank you. Let's give it another taste to this wonderful Beaujolais. I should also mention on the aromas of this wine, there's a real floral component coming through as well. You have these wonderful roses and violets on the aromas coming through. And then also a little bit of, like, when you smell a fresh peach. I mean, peaches are one of those fruits you can really, when they're ripe, you can really smell them. And they really have a wonderful, unique smell. And that's coming through actually on the aromas of this wine. One more taste. Wow. $18, tremendous wine, great texture on the palate, lively acidity, wonderful fruit flavors, nice finish. Again, really versatile food wine. And I just love this, like, mouth-watering, salty, like, sensation that's going on in my mouth right now on the finish. And then there's just like a little bit of fruit tingling at the end, the acidity. I'm going 3.5 stars on this wine, 18 bucks, tremendous value. And I would love to take this opportunity to do some shout outs to some people who've been watching, commenting, and supporting the show. And it means so much to me. And so I wrote them down because I didn't want to, I'm trying to not forget anybody. So I want to say thank you to Athena, Andersen, Bentley, Brad from Canada, Brunello Fellow, Costello, Charles Cuscanos, Dominus, Eric Waite, Joshiko, Lisa S., The Mate, Northwest Indiana Dan. Thank you to Pleeman, to Trebor, Zach NYC, of course, and the Wine Bibber. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, supporting me, commenting on the episodes. It means a lot to me to see when you guys scroll down, get the conversation started. I love to participate in that and trying to get some kind of community here where it's not just me talking about wine, but there's a real conversation going on. So speaking of comments, I would like to hear, what is your favorite Village? Of the 10 Cru Village Beaujolais wines, what is your favorite? So I hope that I somehow have compelled you to go out and try these Cru Beaujolais wines if you have not, because it's one of the tremendous hidden gems of the wine world, like I said. And again, just want to say thank you to all the viewers, to you, Gary, for being an inspiration and being a great source of invaluable information to all of us who want to learn more about wine, who want to nerd out about it. And it's just awesome. So again, I hope you enjoyed the show. Till next time, cheers.